Let me tell you a little bit about why you need to leave the leaves. I know some people think you need to pick those leaves up, but let me assure you, you do not, and you're actually making a huge mistake. So in the United States alone, 35 million tons of grass clippings and leaf litter are removed from urban and suburban landscapes every single year. So researchers wanted to know a little bit more about this. So the University of Maryland undertook some very extensive research looking into this a little bit more deeply and the ecological impact of that leaf litter removal. And you won't be surprised to note that they found some pretty damaging pieces of information. So if you're one of those people and your goal in your garden is to attract pollinators like butterflies and bees, then you really need to be leaving the leaves in place, and the research really sheds light on why that is. For one thing, many insects overwinter in those fallen leaves. It is like their seasonal home. It's their pied-à-terre. If you take it away, they will die from the elements. So more specifically, removing that leaf litter from your property will result in a 45% decrease in butterfly and moth populations, a 67% reduction in spider populations, and a 24% decrease in beetle populations. And you know what? That ain't good. But the thing is, removing the leaf litter from your property is not just damaging to those incredible pollinators and those incredible insects that are part of our very complex ecosystem. It also will make your garden soil significantly weaker. And more specifically, it will result in a 24% decrease in the organic carbon, which will lead to weaker microbial activity, will increase your levels of erosion in your property, will provide fewer nutrients for the plants that you are trying to grow, and will result in weaker drainage and water storage, which really means that those plants that rely on water, which is all of them, to survive and thrive, are going to have a tougher time getting access to that water. It also means that the drainage is going to be poorer and it's not going to reach the roots where you want, and you're going to have a lot of dead plants, babies. If you must shred some leaves and you want to create some leaf mold, perhaps, you don't want to do that with more than 20% of your leaf litter, and you want to do that immediately after they fall, because you don't want those to be set up as houses for those insects, because you will kill them if you shred them. So if you want to take 20% and shred them up, create some fresh compost, put it on a compost pile in shredded form, that's fine. Do it right away. If you can, shred less. And we are also sleeping on the very important piece of information that leaf litter makes excellent mulch. It does the same thing as that mulch that you buy for $5, $6 per bag at the store, but you get it for free, and it creates all these incredible nutrients that will help your garden thrive. You don't want to get rid of them. If you happen to have an HOA that has a rule about leaf litter removal, you should question it. Why is it a bylaw? Is there any way to work around it? Can you get on the HOA and work towards changing the rules? Because it doesn't make any sense in this day and age, given what we know about the importance of leaf litter. If you have to remove those leaves from your lawns, pile them in a spot that can remain undisturbed, under a tree, at the side of a house. That way the overwintering insects can use them for max benefit, and you can get the benefit of creating some beautiful compost later on in the season. If you are worried about smothering your plants with the leaf litter in your garden, just carefully remove that leaf litter at the end of the spring so your seedlings can come up, and then you can go and move it elsewhere, put it in your compost pile, and create some beautiful leaf mold for your garden. Your gardens will be stronger and healthier if you leave the leaves, and the insects will thank you too.